Time for another book review. Here is The Left Is Not Woke by Susan Neiman. Interesting book, quite philosophical, at times a bit scattered, but posing the big question of, is the left actually a woke movement or not? She's someone who comes from the left, like a number of people that have critiqued the woke movement in recent times, and say that actually it undermines itself and causes trouble, and that so much of the thinking is actually not genuinely progressive, that it becomes tribalist rather than actually caring about the universalist perspective of everyone, of having like solidarity with all sorts of people. Instead, it critiques it and suggests that too much of the woke movement sort of pushes towards intersectionality, where you get an oppression Olympics. Instead, this kind of looks at the theological or the philosophical perspective behind it and suggests that Foucault and his ilk from many years ago is part of the problem as to why things are like they are. She instead sort of harks back to the Enlightenment thinkers and says that quite a number of them got it right. They questioned colonialism and so on, and sort of pointed out where their own cultures had got it wrong. They were the first ones to sort of show remorse from any sort of empires of the past. She talks about Immanuel Kant and suggests about how he talks about the moral imperative for hope, rather than so often in modern times people might seek to be optimistic, which then when life is actually genuinely bad is pretty obscene, or pessimistic, which then leads to hopelessness. Actually, we need to be a hopeful people that look for the universalism and the common humanity that we all share, and that would be a truly left-thinking way and a much more useful thought rather than just, again, splitting into tribes. So, reasonably interesting book, perhaps not as great as some of the others I've read in recent times, but it's nice and short, it's not too long, but it does get a bit heavy and it's not that easy to read, but definitely thought-provoking. Cheers.